Anyway, next question, next story. So, grandmother, obviously, Albanese and Dutton. They had a little debate. They've taken some questions. This grandmother, great question, I reckon, has put a question out there. She said, "Grandmother, question puts Albanese and Dutton in their place." So Dutton and Albanese put on the spot with her question. The two leaders faced off in front of 100 undecided voters. Blah, blah, blah. They fielded a number of tough questions from the crowd, but it was a 74-year-old grandmother, Janine, who left the pair stunned. It's pretty amazing when she can leave the pair stunned. Okay. What kind of politicians, what kind of leaders do we have if this leaves them stunned? I worked very hard all my life. I did not come from money at all. Didn't come from money. I came from an average family. She said she wasn't worried about her own future, but held grave fears for those of her children and grandchildren. I have not seen any government take control of a fact, and it's a fact. A lot of foreign countries and companies and countries buy Australian farmland. We have a lot of migrants. Sorry, not migrants. I didn't say that we have a lot of, I should say, I didn't say that we have a lot of students who are here visiting, who are buying housing with the city area, within the city area. And we have a lot of people here just on visas buying properties here in Sydney, and they are now empty. Obviously, she is just stating the blatant obvious. We've got issues with housing. We've got a government that is propping up the housing market. We've got an overinflated housing market. Sorry, if you own a house, it's overinflated, and the government has been running this Ponzi scheme, this scam of a Ponzi scheme for decades now, just bringing in more foreign people to buy and prop up our housing market. And when things get bad, when things get hard, when it looks like we'll go down, crash down to a reality, well then they just hand out money for first home buyers grants, which just inflates the prices even more. So this is what they've been doing. This is the Ponzi scheme they've been running for a long time. So she goes on to say, is one of our governments going to turn up and say Australia belongs to Australians and therefore our land remains Australian? Both leaders went on the charm offensive. So they both just talked rubbish for a while, just telling how good she is for an old lady. Dutton repeated his campaign promise that a coalition government would impose a 2-year ban on foreign buyers from purchasing existing housing stock. I don't want foreign buyers competing against young Australians at auctions or at the sale of the house that they've got their mind set on. Janine, however, was quick to ask what the opposition's leader meant regarding existing housing. Good on you, Janine. You pointed out the obvious, and this nufty can't, because he's just trying to hoodwink us all. Does that stop them from buying property and building new homes, she asked. Dutton said it was a fair question, but clarified that without foreign investment in new housing development, many construction jobs would fail to be funded. Like I said, it's a Ponzi scheme. Using the example of a 200-unit apartment block, Dutton said if foreign students and investors did not buy a portion of the housing, then it could not be built. There is a certain number of pre-sales that need to take place before that unit development can be completed. So if they don't get the pre-sales, they don't get the finance. It's only because they have made housing so expensive, so inaffordable for your average Australian. This is the whole reason why we've got so many homeless people. We just keep inviting new migrants in that can buy up the houses in cash, that have got the money to buy a house. You have to have something like $500,000 just to be able to come into the country and live. So as long as you've got the cash to do it, that's what they want. It overinflates their market. Your average Aussie and all these young people cannot buy. You cannot buy in Sydney when your medium house price is just over $1 million. Seriously, for your first house. It just causes housing prices to go up. And this is why we've got such a large number of homeless people all across the nation. They do not give a flip about Australians who live in this nation. We have got politicians that don't give a flip, they don't care, and all they care about is the housing market and pushing the inflation, pushing the prices up higher. That's all they're doing. That's all they're doing. They don't really care about Australians. And this is what she's pointing out. And he's offering up excuses. And this is because these two, Albanese, So Albanese said his policy was basically the same as Mr. Dutton's, but managed to avoid mentioning anything about existing housing in his answer. But Labor's legislation specifies that its ban also only prevents foreign investors from buying existing homes and does not cover future housing. This is the problem. We have got leaders who are basically the same. Albanese, Labor Party, and the Liberals, they don't really stand for anything. All they want is to win the election, feather their own nests. That's all they're looking at doing. They don't stand for anything. That's why they always fall for nothing. They fall for nothing because they don't stand for anything of substance. They don't really stand, they don't believe in anything other than looking after themselves and their mates.
They just fuel a desire that will take me higher. I'm on fire because nothing's gonna bring me down. Nothing's gonna bring me down. Nothing's gonna stop me now. No more deals to be done. Nothing's gonna just focus on the goal. Nothing's gonna stop me now. Nothing's gonna hold me down. Got my eye on the prize. Got my eye